The following is intended for mature audiences only. Discretion is advised.
Pillow fight, pillow fight.
This is so fun.
Pillow fighting.
Why is it so fun?
Pillow fight.
You're listening to Pillow Fight, a comedy and culture podcast hosted by me, Yamini Nambimadom. I've invited a guest or two to come and gossip like we're at a high school slumber party. We'll start off with a little game of Fuck, Marry, Kill, where the choices are buzzworthy moments in pop culture. Then, we'll move into a couple rounds of Would You Rather based on world news. We'll finish the night off with some juicy Truth or Dare. Feel free to grab a friend and play along in this Pillow Fight.
Pillow fight, pillow fight.
Is yours made of goose?
We got feathers flying everywhere.
Mine's made of goose.
Pillow fight, pillow fight.
This is so fun.
Pillow fighting.
Why is it so fun?
Pillow fight.
Today on Pillow Fight, I'm joined by Sila Puhl. She's a writer, comedian, and college student who I met on my very first Zoom comedy show in quarantine. You can find her on Twitter at C_LAPUHL and on Instagram at C_LAPOOL. On this episode of Pillow Fight, we talk classic movie and TV reboots, compare Twitter and high school, and talk all about giving birth.
Fuck. Marry? Kill. Fuck, marry, kill.
For Fuck, Marry, Kill, the three options are: 1, Nickelodeon Studios just announced that they'll be producing a reboot of iCarly set to premiere in 2021. Miranda Cosgrove, Jerry Trainor, and Nathan Kress are all set to return for their original roles. Number 2, speculations are swirling about the third Spider-Man movie as actors from other movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe are set to join the project. It appears that it'll be like an exploration of the entire multiverse. Number 3, Disney Plus announced a ton of new shows under the Star Wars banner this week, including a series about Obi-Wan, Lando, and more. So 3 like TV reboot situations, TV movie reboot situations, iCarly, Spider-Man, and Star Wars. Fuck, Marry, Kill, what would you do?
Okay, this is hard. I'm gonna have to say I would fuck iCarly because my mom would never let me watch like the real person Disney shows, like Disney or Nickelodeon shows, any of those. So I would watch them like in secret. Like that was like my secret shame was that I watched iCarly. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's fitting. That's like in line with how I would fuck. Yeah. So definitely that. And then I'm probably going to have to marry Spider-Man. I do appreciate the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't love what's happening now with the multiverse. I kind of feel like Into the Spider-Verse did really well, and now they're like, we're gonna ride off of this steam, but it's like, let that movie have its moment and do your own thing. So I also do like the Tom Holland Spider-Man, and I don't think we need an Andrew Garfield comeback, no offense. And I would probably kill Star Wars because I think we've had enough Star Wars.
I agree with your reasoning for that. I would personally marry the Star Wars because they have so much money and they're so generative and they just keep coming up with new things. I feel like that would be a fruitful marriage. Like we'd be financially stable. They would always be finding new things to do to like surprise me. And like I also like grew up really liking Star Wars. So I think, you know, there's fun for the whole family. We have like kids shows of Star Wars. We have like adult Star, you know, it's very family or something for everyone there, you know? And I feel like that's what a marriage should be also. Mm-hmm. I would also fuck the iCarly reboot. I had a similar experience. I wasn't allowed to watch those shows. So what I would do was I would take my mom would put her phone to charge on the kitchen table every night, and I would take it off of the charger. And I would use her phone and I would watch it on her phone, like the websites or the apps or whatever. And then I'd like delete the app and like go and return her phone to charge and like slip back into bed. Or I would like wake up really early and pretend I was like finishing a homework assignment and watch it on the computer. Or I'd go to a friend's house to do it. And this all just feels like all just like the same way that I would have to fuck if I were in my house. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Like
for sure.
Secretly, surreptitiously. It's like returning to an old fling.
Yes.
I know we're not going to be in love ever. We're just, we had something and it's fun to explore that again.
Right, I feel that way. I would watch iCarly on like illegal pirating websites, but I feel like I came to it really late in life where it was something that was restricted to me as a child. So I started watching it when I was like 12 to 15. So it was also part of my own private rebellion. And I feel like that can also be what dating is to some people. It's like, this is rebellion against their parental figures. Yeah. And iCarly was that for me. So.
Yeah, I would kill the Spider-Man situation just because this is gonna upset some people, but I just don't really care about superheroes. Like I can't fathom an ounce of care for them. I think I've seen Batman or something, and I saw Black Panther, and that was it. I don't know what it is. I think I'm just averse to them. I don't think I've given them enough of a chance, but
I do also feel like with franchises, if you're not in it when they're starting to build, it's really hard to get on board after. Mm-hmm. So this makes sense to me. Also, I think Spider-Man is like an easy superhero to kill, which might also offend some people. But out of all of them, he's kind of the dorky. I don't know, so dorky. He's not probably easy.
Yeah, he's not like one of those like sexy superheroes. He's just kind of like a guy. Yeah. I don't know. I think I also had this like contrarian phase growing up where I didn't want to do anything that everyone else was doing. Like I was on the Harry Potter train, but this phase ended like right after I finished reading Harry Potter, where like everyone was reading Percy Jackson and I refused to read Percy Jackson because everyone else was reading it. Hunger Games happened. I refused to read or watch Hunger Games because everyone else was doing it. When One Direction was popular, I refused to get into them because everyone else was doing it. And you know how much joy I missed out on from this rebellion? And I feel like it's the same thing about a lot of like superhero movies. I just like refuse to be a part of what people are happy about. And I don't know why.
I feel like I tried to own those things too much. Like it was definitely super toxic of me. And a little bit, I was definitely a gatekeeper. Like I definitely did that with Game of Thrones. So that's my issue is that like, I'm going to
I never watched Game of Thrones either. Yeah, no, I definitely was just a contrarian in so many, like I refused to like things that people liked. And I don't know. I still feel that way a little bit. Like I have to really fight that urge because it's not good.
There's like definitely such joy to being part of a cultural
moment.
Yeah.
And like when there was that One Direction anniversary situation, like everyone was talking about it and I was like, I'm missing out on this now because I was just such a hater at the time.
I do feel that with One Direction and Twilight, they were kind of happening at the same time. This was around the time where I was like staunchly telling people like, I'm never going to get married. Like I'm a feminist and I'm 10 and I'm never going to get married. And people were like, but this Twilight thing. And I was like, no, you're such a girl. So, but then I ended up reading all of the books just to like have a substantial ground for saying that I didn't like it, just to prove people I didn't like it, but now I would like happily marathon the Twilight movies because there's something so compelling to them.
They're camp. I remember I did a book report in the 5th grade on one of the Twilight books. Like I chose that to do my book report on. And I remember my teacher was like, I think you're a little too young to be reading it. She's like, your book report was really good, but
did you ever read the City of Bone, like the Mortal Instruments trilogy?
Yes, but I don't remember anything about it.
It's like, this goes back to Star Wars also, but there are so many things, I think, where if we really look back, they just passed incest totally under the radar. Because in the book, it's like they might be siblings, but then they turn out not to be. But even when they think they're siblings, there's like this weird romantic thing.
Yeah, I mean, Star Wars too, yeah. And Game of Thrones also that.
Yeah, Game of Thrones, but they're like aggressively incest. Yeah. But anyway,
I wonder, when in society, like incest was like the culture, the thing to do back in the day. Like you'd marry your cousins to like keep it in the family and stuff. What happened? And how was it abrupt, or did it like gradually happen that they were like, no more of this?
I literally don't know. But I also feel like I still sometimes see people who say that their parents are cousins, or at least slightly removed cousins. I know there was one girl in my high school who was like, my parents are related in like not too close of a way, but in a way that was like this. I mean, it was still incest. Yeah. So I was like, has it totally phased out? I'm not sure, but maybe it hasn't phased out because
I mean, it definitely
cultural products keep.
Yeah, there's like parts of the like certain cultures where it's definitely not phased out, but like my parents are like definitely from the same kind of like ethnic lineage type of thing, but they're not family members
Related. So I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't.
Aren't we all related if you think about it?
Yeah.
We're just one human family. I was actually thinking about that the other day, like what were the politics of stopping incest? Was there a propaganda movement? Were there comedians getting naked on camera to stop incest?
God, I wish. I just want to say medically, or maybe they noticed that like people were getting uglier and they're like, there's something going on here.
It's definitely not as healthy too. Like people probably they probably did some scientific.
But it's kind of crazy that it wasn't like a naturally ingrained thing to not sleep with your family.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of, I get why though, because like, you know, when you're a kid and you're like, you don't understand the concept of like relationships yet, and you're like, I want to marry my brother, like I want to marry my dad. Does that ever happen to you? Like I know so many people that have thought those things.
That's fair, because I guess even when you like just play, when you're playing it, it's like, I'm going to play the wife and you play the whatever.
When you were saying like they noticed people got uglier, I also have noticed that when I see like pictures of people from long ago, I don't know if they were just bad at art or if they were actually just way uglier. Like I think people are way more attractive now.
Yes, I completely agree. I'm sure it also is like nutrition and possibly hygiene. This is definitely the age to be in hotness wise.
Yeah, and the genetic diversity, I think, also like just definitely helps.
Yeah.
No, I don't know why I've been thinking about this a lot lately. I've also just been thinking about this. I don't want to be eugenicist, so I'm not gonna. I think everyone should be allowed to have children. It's crazy that anyone can raise them.
True.
Like we have to get a license to drive. We don't have to get a license to raise a kid, to like literally take care of a human being.
No, this is very true. I'm only thinking, right, because this is something I've been thinking about now is, I mean, I'm sure we all reflect on our own relationship with our parents all the time, but you immediately pass down everything. And I have a 12-year-old brother, so I think a lot about like how I don't want to pass on my insecurities to him just through the casual speech that I use. And I definitely feel that way with like parents and children. Very few people show self-awareness, I think, is something.
Oh yeah.
We realize. And so people with no self-awareness, maybe.
You have no experience before you do it. There's no like raising a kid test, like permit class. You just get one and then it's like, figure it out, you know? And you think you know in theory how you would do it, but it's like, you've never really done it. So
yeah.
How do you know? Yeah, it's very a terrifying concept, parenting.
Yeah. Yes. I also don't know how to, I don't know how to drive, and I do think I would be an anxious driver because I don't want to be responsible for all the people in the car. And being a parent is simply being responsible for someone for the rest of your life, probably.
Yeah. I always liked driving because I really like driving alone because I feel like I don't have to focus on anything but driving, so it's like clears all the thoughts out of my brain. But I always really liked driving people too because it was like, I'm taking people from point A to point B, and like I am doing this for them, and like I am providing an environment where like they can chat and they can play music and they can enjoy the sights and scenes. And like I think that was like very maternal of me that I like love driving people around. And I drove a minivan in high school. I think like there's things like that, but I also think like I would also be a really terrible parent in some ways. You know, I'd just be in a bad mood and I'd be like, don't talk to me, you know?
Right. Oh, yes. This was something I was thinking about where I was like, what if my kid is such an extrovert, but they're really bad at making friends? So it's like, I'm the one constantly fielding the extrovert energy because they're like also socially awkward. And that's my nightmare situation. That is because I can't sustain it for them. And we would both be so miserably unhappy.
See, my parents are kind of like this in reverse, because I think I am an extrovert, but like I like to get satisfied that from like talking to and being around all like tons of different people. Like I love to like have a lot of little time with a lot of different people. And my parents, I think, I don't know, they're like ambiverts or whatever, but they like to like just all in with, they have like 2 people they care about outside of the family type of thing, and they're like and like they don't want to do socializing outside of the family unit, which makes it always like made it harder for me as a kid, because I was like it's not my problem if you don't have friends. Like it's not my problem.
Right. No, you cannot. Right. But then it's like an obligation to hang out with your parents.
Yeah. And now they're no longer friends with the 2 people that they were friends with before. They had a big fight because those people were COVID truthers.
Wow, that's recent. That's a recent friendship breakup. That's so sad.
So I'm really, and it's like COVID, so like no one's hanging out with anyone, but I'm wondering like I'm going to leave the house again once this is like, once I get a job and I'm out of this. You know, my brother's pretty close to going to college. They don't have any friends anymore, and I'm really curious what they're going to do. It'll be interesting to see. Like, I wonder if it'll be good for them or really, really bad for them.
Right. That's such a test. I mean, some people, I feel like their marriage really grows around children, and then others, it can live like independently.
I think the kids made my parents' relationship worse.
Oh, interesting.
I think we ruined their marriage. Because I hear stories of, like, the things they did before us. I think it just made them really, really anxious, which was not good for them, for each other, because they'll fight about like how one of the other of them like wasn't anxious enough about something relating to us. Right. And I think when they no longer have to care about our like existence, which that won't ever stop really, but
no, that makes sense. My mom and my stepdad, I have 2 stepbrothers, so I also feel like once everyone's out of the house, it will help their marriage, because it's like the awkward thing of like the parent who is biologically related to the children will be more concerned for the set of children than the other set of children, and will not want to impose on the other set of children. So it creates this like awkward dynamic where people care, but they can't say anything, or they don't want to say anything because that will jeopardize the comfort of the relationship. So there's like a lot of tiptoeing that I think they'll just be able to get rid of once we're all gone.
Yeah. Okay, wait, that is leading me into a would you rather that I just came up with on the spot.
Would you rather, would you rather, would you rather? Let's play a game of Would You Rather.
Okay, so would you rather be able to biologically parent children but not get to like know them, or get to parent children but not biologically, like you?
I would definitely go with parent children but not biologically. I think, you can definitely create probably like the same relationships. I think this way you also avoid all of the painful parts. Childbirth really does scare me.
Oh, me too. Childbirth really scares me, but I have this feeling that like I will be most beautiful as a pregnant woman. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why this is. I just feel like I will look I feel like I will have this beautiful round belly and I'll glow, and it's just like everyone will have to like wait on me hand and foot, and I can like being pregnant, besides the like medical issues, seems kind of like a fantasy, but I really do not want to push like a thing out of me. That is absolutely something I want to do. Yeah, I would choose the same thing as you. I think most people would, but I remember actually reading some article about this, how they surveyed like men and women, and like most men chose that they would rather be able to like be fertile but not be able to know the kids, and women would chose the other.
Whoa, that's crazy to me. That's such a narcissistic thing, I feel. I don't know. Yeah. What makes you convinced that like your progeny is going to be so like beautiful and worth it? I don't know, It's like, why yours?
Yeah, I think I would maybe like a kid that wasn't even my biological kid better, because I wouldn't like project my own insecurities onto them, I think.
Right.
as much.
Right. That's true. Because a lot of the, I don't know, you would like presume that some things are inherited. And so if you feel like there aren't, then you wouldn't act like it. No, yeah, this is true. Also, I was a really, really fat baby. It was, full term, but it took my mom 36 hours to get me out of there. And honestly, it makes sense to not want to like enter the world probably. But that really scares me that like my child will, I guess, like in a karmic act, take also a long time.
It is a miracle, though. Childbirth it's nuts that we can do that.
Yeah.
Like humans are capable of like growing other humans inside of their bodies.
No, this is true. I do like the whole thing where pregnant women like predict or get to know their baby's personality already before the baby gets to meet anyone. Like, I do think it's a beautiful process. It just ends on like the least beautiful note. The whole thing of like you only remember the beginning and the end of a performance, like maybe that's the same with pregnancy. And like the beginning should be great, obviously, depending on whatever the dude, and then the end is just like so painful. So
I don't know, the dude. I don't understand why people don't have epidurals also, because they're like, I want to feel the baby come out. Like, no, just like medicine has evolved, and you don't have to put yourself through pain, and you're still gonna love your kid even if you didn't like feel them crawling out of you. Also, this whole thing that like it's actually better to stand up giving birth than to lie down. I don't actually know how the whole like lying down thing came about in the medical practice, but gravity helps you if you're standing up. But I think that would actually be much worse. I don't know. I can't really imagine what the doctor would do, like if they stand kind of under and like catch it. Yeah. I also feel like that would feel really weird. Like you just feel yourself open up.
Yeah.
Well. Okay, I'm gonna do second. Would you rather? So Tiffany Haddish recently like revealed that she turned down hosting the Grammys because they didn't offer her financial compensation, which sucks because she's Tiffany Haddish, and the Grammys have a fuck ton of money, so they can pay her. But I want to know if you'd rather be able to like perform for like any audience you want but never get paid, or get paid $1 million to never have a public appearance again.
Whoa. Public appearance, like a live public appearance?
I think any access. Like the internet would count.
Okay, so I would have to remove myself from the internet entirely.
You can probably text your friends, but like you couldn't be on social media.
Okay. $1 million. Whoa. I think I would actually maybe go for the million. I think never being able to be paid ever, that's a long time, hopefully a long time. And I also feel like maybe it would be really helpful in finding like personally deeply fulfilling pursuits. If you knew that you had to recuse yourself from public life permanently, I think you would be forced to do some huge soul searching. So I would I guess I would have to opt for that. I'm sure at first I would feel bad mental health wise, and then soon I think it would recover.
Yeah. Someone told me recently that psychologically, like we're only evolved to have like 40 to 50 people that know us. Like that's just how our brains are, like only prepared for that. They're not prepared for anymore. So like the concept of celebrity is like no human is like psychologically capable of adapting to that. So it's like really interesting because now I think with the internet, like we're all kind of some celebrity in a way. Like we all have more than 40 to 50 people that are like immediately in our reach. So that's like kind of crazy. I think I would do the first one though, because I think I would find very little fulfillment. Like I think I find like performance I think I need to do that to like be happy. And I don't think I could do that without like, and I'd be fine working some like random ass job to get the funds to be able to do those things. But if I could have like any audience I wanted, like that's cool. Okay, so this week we found out that both Ellen and Rudy Giuliani got COVID. I want to know if you would rather get COVID from being like a really like overworked, underpaid shit treated like shit Ellen employee, or being like Rudy Giuliani's most highly esteemed person who like he treats so highly?
Definitely the Ellen employee, I would say. I think Ellen getting COVID is just like so funny. I mean, I hope she doesn't die. I'm like Giuliani. The Giuliani COVID news was like, I feel like the fact that Trump didn't die from COVID really put a dampener on my happiness when Giuliani got COVID, because I was like,
yeah. Well, I think they know something we don't.
Yes, they must.
Immortality secret.
Yeah. And I definitely see the value of being like the Giuliani high employee potential expose material, also contributing to the vast number of books coming out about the Trump administration. Mm-hmm. But it's like, it would not personally be worth it. I think it would be probably much more, I'm sure toxic, but I was just so unhappy. Whereas Ellen, I do think being a mistreated intern, you really bond with other mistreated interns. So at least there's some community in it. And then you all get COVID together.
Yeah.
Also, I really want to know like how Ellen would give you COVID. Like, I feel like she would be the kind of person to spread it around her office as a prank. Like she would like scare people. The person like spitting on them.
Yeah, but she had it the whole time. Yeah, totally. I would rather be treated like shit by Ellen than treated like a queen by Giuliani for sure. Because also just like working on Ellen, it's like proximity to cool stuff, even if she treats me like shit. Like get to meet cool people probably, and like it's just like a shitty boss. Rudy Giuliani, like literally the sight of him makes me deeply nauseous. Like that picture of him where like his hair is dripping down his cheek. Yes. Every time I think about it, I like literally want to gag. Like I can't, it's like I lose my appetite and like feel really disgusting. Like I'm feeling it now.
Yeah, don't think about it. Don't think about it.
But I don't think I could, like, I don't think I can experience that in person and be okay.
And like, I'll be honest, all of them, honestly, they all look like such wax people, or they look like they're made out of something that is such like a disgusting, flammable, melty material. And I just cannot imagine that their skin feels like human skin.
Oh, they're like, not. I truly believe they're like dead and like being programmed to stay alive.
Yeah. And so I wouldn't want, and I'm sure he has like bad breath. Like there are many sensory elements that we don't get to interact with to them that I'm sure they all have that are so odd. And that's something I could live with not knowing. So that's definitely like a non-Giuliani.
Fuck, marry, kill, Mitch McConnell, Rudy Giuliani, Donald Trump.
Oh no.
I just came up with that on top of my head, but
no, yeah, that one's hard. Okay, I do feel like I would kill Trump. Only if I wasn't going to kill Trump, I would say marry. But the only reason is because like out of all of these Trump administration books, the one that I really want to read is Melania's. And I was reading all of like the prenup divorce things, and I have always been an advocate for a good prenup. Since the age of 11, I've been telling people get a prenup.
And the same time you were saying I'll never get married, you were saying prenup.
Right. I was like, if you're gonna do it, you should protect your assets. But she like has this bad prenup because she can't, say anything. And I'm sure she got sort of pigeonholed into it. So I would not do that. So I would probably kill Trump. Also, just he's like the face of the movement. I don't think you can like separate that from the movement itself. And God, I would probably, I guess I'd have to marry Giuliani and fuck McConnell. And that's because I think like marriage, you can create distance. And I think Giuliani is dumber than McConnell. I think McConnell is like ugly and evil, and I wouldn't want that over a long period of time.
Yeah, I would kill Rudy Giuliani just because, like I told you, the side of him makes me nauseous, and I don't think it would be healthy for me to do that. To be around him at all. This is kind of a cheat, but I would fuck Mitch McConnell because I think I could kill him via sex. I think I could just like push him a little too far that he like dies while inside of me. Beautiful image. And I would also
wasn't he one of the ones with like the dead hands?
Yeah. He has an Asian wife, which I think is really funny. Because he doesn't seem like the kind of white guy to have an Asian wife. You know what I mean?
No, not at all.
Like there is a kind of white guy who is like a type, but he does not fit it.
No, not at all. And I think I did know that, but it's not like something that immediately comes to my. It's not something I immediately think about when I think of Mitch McConnell, and I do think that like Asian wife guys, that's the first thing you think about is how they have an Asian wife and like born. So I definitely see that he's not the type.
Yeah, and then I would marry Trump, even though I think I wouldn't have like be able to like publicly speak on it. I think I would like know all the secrets about the government, and it would be really cool to know. Also, I think I could do like little things to like manipulate him into what I wanted the decisions to be, like withhold sex to like get him to, you know, pardon. You know what I mean? Like I think it's a powerful position to be in, and I think it's a little more just attention and press and fame, and that's kind of fun.
It's true. I would also say that the highlight, like the only highlight of the Trump administration was all of the videos of Melania like swatting him away, or when she like very clearly went to vote for Biden when it was like when she didn't vote when he voted. Like that was just hilarious. And truly the only good clip that we saw.
Remember her jacket that was like,
oh yeah,
I forgot it was.
It was like, I literally do not care.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
I think she's a character.
Yeah.
But
I have a would you rather.
Okay.
Also a little bit about public persona things, but would you rather restart Twitter from 0 followers and like have to build up again, or would you rather do high school all over again, like right now?
Oh, I would so much rather restart Twitter from 0 followers and redo high school. Because I think building up Twitter was like kind of a fun experience. Like I met so many cool people along the way, you know, like I could take a break from it whenever I wanted to. I could like go back in when I wanted to. It's like no one was really telling me what to do. I kind of like paved my own path. I could do it in all these different places. I could do it in Chicago. I could do it in California. I could travel and do it. My parents weren't breathing down my neck about, you know, my Twitter engagement stats. No, I would totally rather do that. High school was like not it for me in many ways. I would not. Having good numbers on Twitter, it's like fun, but I don't think that's like why I like Twitter.
I totally agree. I also think that if I had the chance to redo it in high school and it was somehow better, well, I do think that the fact that like people who have bad high school experiences are like better people ultimately, I think that's very true. And so if you have the chance to redo it, I mean, I also did not love high school, but if it was for some reason better now the second time, I feel like I would be a worse or more annoying person afterwards, which is not something I want. And I agree. It's like, I definitely feel like I've found internet friends, and I was never like a Tumblr person in middle school, which is like where I feel like people had friends before. So this has been a very interesting and nice and rewarding thing. And also was super unexpected. Like I truly was not expecting to make friends off of Twitter. So
yeah,
I agree.
Me too. Like I made so many, I had Tumblr and I was like big on Tumblr, but the friends I made on Tumblr, it felt very like it felt weird, and like I could be talking to like an 80-year-old man and I don't know it, you know? Like it was never like right now I feel like my Twitter friends are like part of my real life social circle, and like a lot of my real life friends know some of my Twitter friends. Like some of the people have met, some of them haven't. Like everyone's kind of got like a mutual friend, like sort of, even if they don't really know each other, like way more kind of like intertwined circles. And I feel like they're the people that I actually will see and be friends with and like talk to in my life, even though I met them on the internet. Whereas like the Tumblr thing was like, I feel like I was just like a kid trying to be weird online. But
yeah, definitely can. And also, I mean, that's sort of how we're interfacing with everyone now, is just like our real life friends are also on our phones now. So in that way, it also helps. But yeah.
Also, like, I just feel like exhausted by FaceTime calls, like to catch up and stuff, because there's something so performative about like watching yourself talk to someone and like feeling like you have to get everything in like this one call. When like normally if you just see people, like especially your closest friends, you just see them like often and you update them as it goes. So it's like it's not as like forced interaction. So I've just like kind of been a texter in quarantine, like just like little like bursts of info and stuff like that, rather than like planned calls. And so Twitter has been exactly that. So it's just like kind of seamlessly intertwined into my life. And a lot of people know, like everyone kind of knows each other now. So it's like all my college comedy friends, like, you know, like that's how I know you, is like through them. And then it's just like this, you know, interconnected world. And I think it would be fun to like meet all those people again. And I'm like continuing to meet people. So it's, yeah, I would redo it. I think I could do it fine.
Yeah.
Truth or dare?
Truth or dare, Sila?
I'll start soft with the truth.
Okay. So when you came back to, are you in Thailand right now?
Mm-hmm.
When you got back to Thailand, you were in that like isolation cell. Mm-hmm. What was the like grossest or weirdest thing you did when you were in that cell?
I was in like this hotel room. It was pretty nice. The grossest thing, I mean, I did do the thing where you just like walk around naked, or you just like, I don't know if that's gross though.
I think it's gross.
Okay. Let's see. I feel like I generally did not do anything particularly grosser than like what I normally do. I tried to wash all of my clothes, and there was no like sunlight in my room. Mm-hmm. So it actually ended up making the entire room smell like wet clothes. So that was more like a gross experiential thing.
Yeah. And
because they were like, I would do like these YouTube workouts, and then they were also sweaty. So it was like a combination, and I sweat a lot. That's probably maybe the grossest thing, is I'm like a very, very sweaty person. Mm-hmm. So it just smelled like a mix of sweat and water, and that was pretty nasty.
Did you talk to yourself ever?
Oh, yeah. But I do that normally all the time.
I say that I do to people, and they're like, that's so weird. I literally narrate everything I do as I'm doing it to myself, kind of.
I don't think I narrate, but I feel like my brain is constantly thinking about something. And then when I'm alone, it's like those things come out of
the voice in my head is like a YouTube vlogger. I'm like, I'm going to the bathroom right now, and I'm going to go take a piss. Then I'm going to go wipe myself with this toilet paper, and I'm going to flush. Then I'm going to go to the sink, and I'm going to take 2 pumps of soap, and I'm just going to rub it in and wash my hands, and then I'll dry them off. Isn't that so amazing? I just went to the bathroom, and that's like how I'll.
It's so funny. Do you feel like you imagine people watching you all the time? Because I feel like that's sort of like what's in my head, is I'm always like thinking about what I'm doing based on like how someone else would see what I'm doing, which is probably, I don't know what it is.
No, but I remember reading about this and about dreams. Okay, when you dream, are you like, is it first person, or are you watching yourself from out of body?
I mean, it's usually first person.
Yeah, because some people say that they like dream and they come outside of themselves. I have no idea like objectively how I like to occupy space or can be perceived. Like I have no idea how to conceptualize that in my head. So I have no idea like what people looking at me see. Sometimes I like see a picture or video of myself and I'm like, that's me. Like that. It's not really my face. I get like my body. I don't really understand.
I completely agree. This is like the only reason I would ever want to be like a TV actor, is to just like see what I look like doing random things. Mm-hmm. Because you never know, like unless you're in front of a mirror, it's like you just don't know what you look like. So that's the only reason I want to be.
That's like part of why I really hate these, like having to FaceTime and stuff, because I have to see myself and I don't like having to perform for myself. You know, like I'm never really thinking about how others would see what I'm doing until I have to see it myself. Mm-hmm. So I don't love it, but yeah.
Okay. Truth or dare?
I'll start with the dare.
Okay. Okay. I'll start with a short one. Have you seen it? I got this idea from TikTok, but it's like where you recreate a sound that somebody makes. So like I'm going to make a sound. And then, okay, I'm gonna like make a sound with something random, and then you have to try and like recreate the sound.
Okay.
I can.
Okay. Do I just do it with my mouth?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was pretty good, I think.
Thank you. I used to play this game with like my college improv group where someone would close their eyes in the middle and then someone on the outside of the circle would like make a sound and they have to guess like who was making the sound, but it was like the weirdest sounds. That's what that just reminded me of.
So cute.
Yeah.
I'm like so envious of college improv groups in a twisted way.
I feel like no one ever sings, no one ever says. I am so envious of college improv groups.
It's just like you're all just act goofy together.
You know, I feel like you're an honorary member of a college improv group, you know?
Yeah, that's
like some people just, you know, evoke that. I feel like you could easily fit in a circle of improvisers.
Thank you. To some, that would probably be a roast, but to me, it is a compliment because I admire it. I respect the hustle.
I'm glad you feel that way. I feel seen and understood by that. Okay, truth or dare?
Dare.
Do you think there's someone that you could call or text who would respond to you, who you have kissed or somehow they know what your breath would taste like? And ask them, I'm not explaining this well, and ask them what your breath tastes like because you really want to figure it out, but it's like something I want you to give an explanation that's like, I really want to know, but it's like something that I can't do to myself and I can't figure it out and I can't taste my own breath. So,
okay.
Can you please tell me? Let me think.
There is one, but we're currently, it's just the last 2 days of it, we're in a bit of it's not a fight, it's like an awkward. So let me, sorry. Sorry. No. Okay, let me see if she's up. I'm going, hey, remember when we kissed? I've been really trying to figure it out and I just can't. What was it? I can't do it by myself.
Yeah.
I go, hey, remember when we kissed? I've been really trying to figure it out and I just can't do it by myself. What does my breath taste like? She was active 33 minutes ago, so we'll just...
Okay.
Okay, truth or dare?
Truth.
Okay. So you were famously a recipient of praise underwear, and I was wondering if you could give us just like a brutally honest review of the underwear.
Okay. They're really, really soft. The pairs I got, like, they're so soft you want to feel them all the time and you want to like wriggle in your sheets because they're really soft. But I found that they're too high-waisted, that I wear a kind of pants that like come up to your boobs, okay? That's the kind of pants I wear, and they still are higher than those pants. I think they just set me high-waisted underwear, but it's like, it's very high-waisted for high-waisted underwear. Yeah, they also I haven't tried anything but like thongs and like the full ass underwear. And I think I prefer kind of more of a middle ground underwear. So I don't really know what that is like yet. I think the fabric feels really soft, but because the fabric is such a shiny, soft kind of fabric, it tugs a lot. So it's not like, it doesn't just stay put on.
Okay. It's a little bit of a wedgie giver.
Yeah, the ones that are like full ass ones, they definitely want to go up my butt.
Okay.
And also if I'm wearing like leggings or something, like they want to move around. You know what I mean? And then, that is my first impression. After wearing them, washing them, wearing them again, the waistband likes to not stay in its shape. It likes to kind of like bend around, which I don't love. I air dry them now for that reason, which I probably should have been doing anyway. I'm very bad at laundry etiquette. Overall, pretty solid underwear. Like, I liked them. It's cool to get free underwear. Like, I'll wear them.
Okay. So. Do they show underwear lines?
Yes.
Is another question I have. Okay.
Yes, because that's another problem I have with them. Is I kind of like to wear more like not necessarily seamless, but like less line creating underwear, and they definitely are line creating underwear. It's not. There's like thick seams on them, which is fine. Like they're really they're like cozy underwear. They're not really like I'm gonna put on this outfit to look snatched and like, you know what I mean? It's like not underwear. It would feel sweaty if I worked out in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it would feel like I was brewing something in, like I was like letting yeast ferment down there if I was on it.
Okay. This is a really good review. I am huge fan and proponent of like event underwear. I mean, maybe this is just what everyone already does, but like there's like daytime workout and then nighttime underwear are my divisions.
Yeah, I can only sleep in cotton underwear or no underwear at all.
I'm not like a commando person. I wish I was, because I think that's like very freeing, but
I wasn't until recently. Quarantine is when I started doing it.
Oh, interesting.
This is maybe TMI, but I started to feel like I was getting really smelly, and I was like, I think I'm just like letting the juices cook for too much time. And I was always like I really don't like having fabric on my body while I'm asleep if I can avoid it. Like I only put clothes on, and I also get really hot in my sleep. So I don't know. It's like, I was just like, let's try it one night, and I don't do it all the time. Sometimes.
Okay. I think this is like emboldened me enough to try it. Yeah. Not right now. I am currently menstruating. That's the other thing.
Oh yeah.
There's times you just can't do it.
That's not a commando time.
That's not the time. But I definitely will. So I'll get back to you in like 5 days.
Yeah. Truth or dare?
Truth.
If you could extinguish one comedian from the earth, could be a real comedian or a Twitter personality or whatever, who would it be and why?
So I'm gonna right off the bat go with Bill Burr. I really don't like Bill Burr, and I especially I don't like him because I just think he's like a misogynist and not funny. And then I would choose, many comedians are misogynist, but I'm choosing him specifically because my dad does listen to Bill Burr, and I cannot stand it. So if I kill him, I don't have to ever listen to it, because people will say like dumb shit all the time, but that specific voice is the one that's brought into my own household.
When your parents like really like something that you hate, it's like really painful.
It's definitely a selfish decision, because I'm sure Bill Burr, if we're ranking all of them, is not the worst. I think I've like expressed my opinions to my dad, which makes it more annoying, because I'm like, you're the father of a daughter, so I feel like you should be more attentive. But that's partially, I think, what Bill Burr is like so specifically catering to divorced men
I really have not consumed that much of his.
Right. It's just like constantly like, my wife is Burr. Blah. Truth or dare?
Dare?
I dare you to DM somebody their own tweet, like a reply guy, so like with notes, or like they can be fake notes, like stupid, but like how they could have made the tweet better.
Do you have a person that you want me to do?
It can be someone you're close to, if that would make it better.
Oh my god, this is so funny. I just I went to my Twitter and I saw this DM. Really funny. It was just sent to me an hour ago. I want to read it even though it's unrelated. Please. Okay. Hey there. Pardon my punctuation. Do you have a show? ... Preferably for free for a poor boy like me. I correct the punctuation, but I am so busy right now! ! I love your stuff, yams. So thank you. Oh, another punctuation error. Or is it air? ? Just realized you have basically 16,000 followers. Damn, you're famous. No pressure. I do not expect a response from you. I would do a crying gif, but what's the point? You probably won't see it. Still would like to know about the show. Best of luck to you. I will stay following you forever. Upside down smiley face, winky face, truthy smile face, whale emoji.
Oh my god. That is crazy. A poor boy like me. That's so... How many DMs in that vein do you get? Is this like a weird occurrence or common?
Common. Oh, I get a lot of this guy. He goes, "Hi, good morning, good night. You liked to suck dick? You are looking very beautiful like an angel. I hope God keep you safe and healthy always because your face is very beautiful and sweet, my lady."
Wow.
Oh, I also got this guy who pitched me a joke that I do not understand. Let me find him. Okay.
Oh, please.
Sorry, this has just become me reading my message requests.
No, I love listening to DMs.
I liked your comedy routines. I always wanted to do one about my dad. He would always start his kids driving at the age of 13. He would say, "Hey, we need to get these kids driving earlier." When one got in a wreck, he convinced the other driver to wait until he got there to pretend he was the driver for the police report. My stepbrother drove all his friends to school in 9th grade, and he would always leave the keys in an old Pinto, hoping it would get stolen. Finally, his wife and he did a pros and cons list of turning back the odometer before selling a car. To no one's surprise, their pros won. I was like,
oh, it's like, I feel like these people, that's crazy. That is such an overshare. I do get weird DMs, but not in this frequency, but just like screenshotting them and turning this into like a coffee table book. Mm-hmm. Because this is such like a fundamental part to, I think, being anyone on the internet, but I think especially being a woman on the internet.
Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to see who would like not be like confused.
Yeah, the notes can be like explicitly silly.
I'm going to do it to this. It says, it's by this girl, Iris, just Iris. Girls who put their flip phones in their bras for no reason have the best pussy. So I'm going to jam it to her, just Iris. Okay. And say, nice tweet. If I could add something, though, how many girls these days are still carrying flip phones? And how many are still wearing bras? This would be putting the women you described at a very specific and statistically unique position in our society. You are right, then, to say they might be the 1% of pussy owners. How can I contact one? Haha, love your tweets. Stay great.
It's perfect.
After she replies, I'm gonna tell her that it wasn't you.
Okay, yeah, please.
Okay. Has your person responded to you?
No, I'm gonna, okay, I just liked all of my own messages. That is such like the ultimate passive aggressive act, is like reacting to your own message. But
yeah. Okay. Truth or dare?
Dare.
I want you, do you have the voice recording thing on Twitter?
I think I have it. Okay.
I want you to just like speak, like improvise spoken gibberish into your voice recording and then post it on Twitter with the caption, "I just had this crazy revelation."
Okay. So like a bunch of like words that don't make sense together.
Yeah. They don't have to be like just words, fake words, real words. Sentences that don't go together.
Okay. Do I just click on it?
Yeah. And I think you have to press it again to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I feel like my heart rate increased. This is like improv, I think. Okay.
He said he wanted to be an improv kid. Here you go.
Hey, the light mixed with the Miller in it, and I thought that was really impressive for the Aveeno. If you think about it in the context of Fun Novel in version with actually the noir, if you think about something like that plus the bloob actually together to make a really, really good Xerox of your butt.
That was so good.
Okay. And then I had this crazy revelation.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I was simply reading like the brand names on my desk.
The Xerox thing was a good twist.
Truth or dare?
Truth.
If all of your mutuals were stranded on an island, including you, so you're included in this, who would get eaten first and who would be the last to survive and get saved? So who's like the pushover, I mean, in nice ways, or like who would either volunteer to be eaten or who would get eaten first, and who would be the like most
of all my mutuals
willing to survive? Yeah, or of a certain.
You know who I know who I think would survive till the end, and I think it's Dr. Piss Pants.
Oh, yeah.
I think they really would survive till the end. I feel like they know how to rough it, and they would just like slide under the radar, and then eventually like they would win out.
Who would get really good
eaten first? There are like some, I think there's like, there's like really nice white boy reply guys who like are just too nice in a way that's like pick me boys.
Yeah.
I feel like there's multiple of those that I think would volunteer to let me eat them.
Yes. I did also want to say with Dr. Pissman, I have been watching a lot of Survivor, and I think the people who are like definitely the under the radar people who can coast in the middle and then rise to the top at the end, all about timing.
I want to do one last round.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. Yeah, truth or dare.
I'll go with a truth, just alternating.
If you could be in a throuple with any celebrity couple, who would you choose?
Oh.
Or not even celebrity couple. You can put two people together and just make your own. Build your own throuple.
Wow. This is like with celebrity questions, I always am worried that I'm going to give too much of a mainstream answer. Reverting full circle back to the beginning of like, I want to go against the grain.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to say someone if nobody knows. I don't really want, maybe this is going to sound bad, but I don't super want to be in a relationship with like someone who's like really like model level hot. I'm like I'm
scary.
Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to think of, someone who's like attainable, but still attractive. Oh, there's this one woman who is in Orphan Black. Her name is Tatiana Maslany, and she's just like such an incredible actress. And she also seems like a very chill, low-key person. So I would choose her. And then I guess like I was compelled by the recent pictures of Dylan O'Brien that surfaced on the internet. And he's like definitely still model hot, but it's it feels very rugged.
He's a way next door bad.
Yeah, in a way that like Noah Centineo once had and has since now lost.
Yes.
I think.
Noah Centineo really, he flew too close to the sun, I think.
Yes. Oh, that's for freaking sure.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good little throuple.
Yeah.
Fun.
I had one like indie answer.
Yeah.
So I can feel okay about it. Should I do one last one?
Yes.
For you. Truth or dare?
Dare.
I dare you to write a cute little romantic poem about Christopher and then tweet it. I'm personally a fan of internet. I love the internet PDA, so I want more.
Oh my gosh. People are gonna like scream at me for this. Okay. A poem. What should I say? Is there like a style of poem you want? Or it's just
it could be a rose, it could follow the roses are red model, if that.
My favorite color is green. My second favorite's blue. I like all my friends. And Christopher too. I do a second verse.
Oh yeah.
The sun is for the day, and the moon is for the night. Time goes by so fast, but being with you just feels right. Yeah. Did you never get a response?
I never did.
What do you think your breath tastes like, since you didn't get any confirmation?
I do use Listerine, but I can kind of be bad about flossing. So I do think it's not like angel breath. I don't know why this is speaking to me, but like a tomato.
I would say that my breath is like tomatoes too. I really think that.
Because it like teeters on, I think, acidity and sweetness, and that's why.
Mm-hmm. Well, thanks so much for joining me. It's nice to have you from across the world.
I love being here. It was such an honor. I'm a friend of the pod, turned guest of the pod, and that makes me happy.
It's the Pillow Fight cinematic universe.
Thanks so much for joining our pillow fight. See you next time. Pillow Fight is a production by me, Yamini Nambimadom, with music by Greer Baxter. Thanks for listening.